into the second intermission report. The Bruins were down 1-0 after one, now find themselves down 3-0 after 2 periods of play. Adam Peller and Andy Brickley with you. You know, I thought the tide was turning. You know, the Bruins finally got some sustained offensive zone time. It looked pretty good. And then the high stick double minor to Mason Lowry, and the wheels fell off from there.
Yeah, the eyeball test says Boston maybe starting to find their game. They get some offensive zone pressure. They get a power play. They didn't generate a whole lot with that. Their momentum wasn't, you know, spurred by the power play. You were hoping to get even a little bit more in terms of offensive scoring chances, offensive zone time, but it's still 1-0. You're feeling pretty good, you know. Crowd's starting to get into it. They're getting behind the home team. Great save on the 2-on-1 by Swayman at about 8.5 minutes to go in the
Evan
period.
Rodriguez.
Yeah, and you think this is going to be a really good turning moment, a good sequence for Boston, and next thing you know, double minor, 4 minutes, and an impressive power play, pair of impressive power play goals. Didn't like the way the Bruins killed the penalty. I thought they had chances again to get clears, didn't take it. Give up a seam pass, great snipe by Tarasenko, and then a basic create a 2-on-1 down low on the Verhaeghe goal where Carlo's unable to move the stick. So now you're chasing it again, down 3-0.
Yeah, and again, you know, the penalty kill has been so good for the Bruins the entire season and the postseason. It went through a slump during the regular season, really started to find its groove here in the playoffs. But, you know, Florida has found something, apparently, a way to break the Bruins' pressure.
Well, I think what we've seen through 40 minutes, though, overall, when you compare Florida to Boston, Florida's playing faster. They're moving the puck quicker. They're stronger on the puck. You know, they seem to come at you in waves. They've had good layers defensively. We haven't seen Boston really dominate an offensive shift, you know, like we're used to seeing them do when they have their A game. They can't get it going against this team the way Florida's playing. Florida's been the better team, clearly, tonight.
It looks like tried to mix up the lines a little bit, putting Pat Maroon, David Pastrnak, doing some little things. It just doesn't seem, you know, that anything is sort of really clicking at this point.
Well, you know, when the Bruins have their offense going at them, it's that 5-man rotation in the offensive zone. There seems to be a reluctance to play that way, almost like a guarded, make sure we keep a defenseman out by the blue line. I like a 5-man rotation. Down 3-0, why not? You know, get the wagon wheel going in the offensive zone. They got to do something different offensively in order to create some offense, because the way they're going about it right now, whether it's the game plan or not executing the game plan, it ain't working.
No, it's not. And you mentioned the power play opportunity. We talked about it in the pregame show to start the postseason, that new look power play, right? They put the lines together. They separated David Pastrnak and Brad Marchand. They scored in 5 straight games, including the regular season finale against the Senators, first 4 games of the playoffs. They were 6 for 13, 0 for 10 in their last 10 opportunities, and their most recent struggles here in the second period.
Yeah, in 2 games and 2 periods in this series, I think Florida's had 13 power plays to Boston 6, which tells you they have the puck more than you do. In most cases, that's not the way all penalties occur, but for the most part, that's a clear message that you don't have the puck enough to draw more power play opportunities, and you're not playing fast enough. You're not beating your man off the wall back to the front of the net. None of that stuff's really happening on a consistent basis for Boston. You know, you'd love to have a power play where one player takes ownership of it. You know, he's the clear-cut quarterback that's going to control the power play, whether it's on the half wall or the top of the umbrella. That is where it is. And I don't see the Bruins, with one of their top offensive guys, assuming that mantle.
Yeah, again, and we talked about David Pastrnak a lot, you know, in terms of wanting to see him get going, but nobody really going for the Bruins right now. In terms of moving forward, Brick, you know, we saw after the second period in Game 2, the Bruins were down 3-1. The Panthers scored that late goal. Jim Montgomery said he was contemplating making a goalie change at that point to maybe provide some kind of spark. He didn't end up doing that. Bruins went down 4-1. Then he made the goalie change. Do we see him maybe trying to do that here to start the third period?
It's a possibility, but I think it's a panic. I don't think that would inspire the team. I think what you need is a goal, a hard-earned goal, any kind of goal within the first 7, 8, 10 minutes of this period. Maybe you get a power play opportunity. I don't think the change to, you know, Omar starting the third period, it almost seems like they're already looking towards Game 4. To be honest with you, that's my take on it. I don't see where that really gives the Bruins the juice that they need. I think it's got to come from the players in front of the goaltender.
Yeah, you want to see them build their game. If not come back and win this, you want to see them build something towards Game 4. What's the first step in doing that? I know you mentioned a little bit, but if you could go more in depth in terms of, trying to build towards something, whether it's scoring the first goal of the game, whether it's coming back, whether it's something towards game 4, how do you build?
Yeah, for me, it's, again, I want the forwards to come a little deeper. Shorten up the passing routes from the defensemen in order to try to generate some speed through center ice. I don't think they're doing enough of that. We mentioned after the first period, they use that weak side defenseman. That's where you generate some speed because he's wide open. I think if at least one forward, maybe two, come a little underneath, come deep, you can stretch the neutral zone. You can send one forward up to the far blue line and maybe cut across the blue line. Maybe you pull both D back, afraid that somebody's going to get in behind you. But until they come up and play more connected, that's a phrase you hear a lot. They need to play more connected. We saw signs of it in period 2, but not enough on a consistent basis. And until the forwards can do more to help generate some speed off the rush, or at least give yourself some speed to generate the forecheck, whether it's a chip and chase, a hard rim around, cross corner, whatever it is, but it has to have a little bit of speed in center ice, and that generates with clean exits. I'm not seeing enough of it.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of that consistently, especially tonight. Let's take a look at the game summary. The Bruins now trailing 3-0 after 2 periods of play. The Panthers tripling the Bruins up in shots on goal, 24-8, out shooting them 11-5 in that second period, and then the double minor that ends up being huge for the Panthers, scoring 2 power play goals. As we look ahead now to the third period with the Bruins trailing 3-0, looking to get something going offensively. We will be with you at the start of the post-game coverage. We'll send you back now to the national broadcast as the Bruins and Panthers finish things off.